Welcome back, Accounting 1 students. This is Mr. Clement, and we are going to be doing a quick review or an overview of how we're going to run Accounting 1 via distance learning, along with an introduction to your first homework assignment, which is going to come to you on Tuesday of the upcoming week. For those of us who were here last week in person in the hybrid model, you should have picked up a workbook from me, you should have picked up a textbook from me, and you should have picked up a newspaper want-ats from me. This is going to be our Tuesday homework assignment. We are going to need the textbook and the workbook to run class. We are going to think old school paper pencil as we learn Accounting 1 this trimester. When we get back, I'm going to be the optimist and say when we get back to some type of in-person learning, we will look at doing accounting with QuickBooks, right? We have laptops that have the program downloaded on them. Your Chromebooks do not have that ability to do that. So if we get back to in-person, and my hope is sometime in January, we're back here in either a hybrid model or a full board in-person model. We'll then go ahead and work on some QuickBooks. So that's kind of the resources you're going to need to start the class. We're going to go over a handful of things that I need you to be able to do, or some helpful hints to help you be successful in the class. And then we'll take a look at what the assignment for Tuesday is supposed to look like. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my screen. As you notice, this is the Google Meet, or a Google Meet, that I'm using to record this. This is where I'm going to lecture on every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So this is a platform you're going to need to become familiar with. I'll show you my whole screen here. All right. First thing I need you to become familiar and comfortable with is Schoology. Right? This is going to be the platform where I'm going to deliver all of the information for you. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I will log on and we will have a live Google lecture, a Google Meet lecture. That is going to happen from 9:20, here we go, 9:20 to 10:05. That is our time slot and the times that I'm going to lecture live for Accounting 1. If you are unable to be here live, I'm going to record that lecture just like I'm recording this lecture, and I'm going to place it here in this folder called Archive Videos. I'll break that according to the week of the trimester, and I'll add in some dates when we actually get there, you know, December 8th through December 11th, 12th, whatever it happens to be. But if you can't log in live, here's where you go find that lecture. I am going to strongly encourage you log in live, right? I think that's going to be your best way to learn. Accounting is a very sequential course where you got to have a handle on chapter 1 to be able to do chapter 2 and then do chapter 3. And kind of showing up on time, crunching through that is going to be a very important piece to the puzzle. Second habit I need you to get into is every day after logging into Schoology, I need you to log in and click on this button right here, this Daily Assignments tab. Even if it's a Tuesday and Thursday where I'm not live, you need to go to this tab to figure out what our plan of attack is. Okay? Tuesday is a newspaper activity. At the end of this video, I'll go over the instructions on what that is. It also has a column for when the homework is, or what the homework would be, when that homework is due, and what the points are. If it has a specific due date, which this one is Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning, before I hit the chapter 1 lecture, you're expected to get that done and turned in, whether that be finishing it up and resharing the Google Sheets with me, whether that's taking a picture of a document or a workbook or something like that, and then emailing that to me. Those things need to be done on the times that they were assigned and the times they are due if you want to earn points for them. Okay? In a ballpark, kind of big picture look at it, pretty much every Monday is when our homeworks are due, midnight. Our homework is due Monday. and I'll send you your exam individually on Tuesday morning, but then that exam is due midnight as well. Homeworks are 5 points each, and the exams, every exam is going to be worth 50 points. So we log into Schoology every day. We check out this daily assignments every day. We either log in live Monday, Wednesday, Friday to watch the lecture, or we go catch it here under the archived videos. And the last is going to be checking your email every day. As we look, I have a distribution set up for everybody who is supposed to be in the class. I will send out emails every day. Hey, here's kind of the plan of attack, kind of a reminder. There's a good chance I will probably throw the Google Meet link in here as well. Sometimes Schoology craps out on us and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. So I still want you to have that link and be able to watch live, and I can always upload it later. I know that was one of our challenges in the spring, even sometimes for the virtual learners this fall. Schoology maybe didn't work. So probably the other big piece of advice is when you have questions, you need to advocate for yourself and ask ahead of time, right? Or ask as soon as you have it. Don't wait until Tuesday, 8 o'clock at night, and you have no idea how to take the test to then send me an email saying, hey, Mr. Clem, I don't know what I'm doing here. That's a little too late to try and figure things out, right? Don't wait to try and start the test till 10 p.m. and then Schoology doesn't work, and then you go, oh, I couldn't do it because Schoology didn't shut down. Plan ahead, right? That's on you to get figured out. Let's show you where some help resources are going to be. And again, accounting, very sequential, very, this and then this and then this. Here is our newspaper activity. This is going to be our Tuesday assignment. And then here are the chapters. That's how I break out Schoology. In chapter 1, here are lecture notes that we're going to go over. Maybe you're not great at taking notes. You have the ability to pull this up when I lecture, or pull it up and then listen to the recorded lecture down the road. That CTE chapter 1, here is your answer key to all of your homework. So here's the answer key to the study guide. Here is the answer key to all of the documents that you would find in your workbook. Now, a bit of advice in using this resource. Again, I'm going to strongly encourage you to log into Google Meet Live every day. I'm going to strongly encourage you to do your homework, make an attempt at it first before you go look at the answer key to plug things in. And you may be able to Xerox your homework, say, oh, hey, sweet, here's the answer key to all this. I'll just write all this down, take a picture, and send it to Mr. Clem, and I'll be good. Maybe, right? You might be able to do that and get 5 out of 5 on the homework. But if you haven't done the legwork and if you don't understand the process and the procedure, you're going to bomb the 50-point test. Right? So please use these resources the way they were intended, as to help you answer your own questions after you've made your attempts to do the homework. Chapter 2 going to be very similar. Again, answer keys, some extra practice problems. When you get to the paper copies of things, again, study guide. Here, if you scroll down, you're going to notice something called a work together. This is what I call a teaching sample. So whether I'm back here sitting at my desk or I'm up front on the whiteboard with a wireless wireless microphone, lecturing and writing on a smartboard, these are our teaching samples, right? So I'll go through this, write some of this stuff out, and we do it together as a group to kind of learn the concept or the procedure. Then I usually tell you, all right, flip to the next page and do the on your own. So you now practice that concept, and then I'd probably pull up and show you what the answer is supposed to look like. So this one is Chapter 2, Section 1, work together. Here happens to be Chapter 2, Section 1, on your own. Then we get to something called the application problems. Right? When I ask you to turn in homework, this is one of the homeworks I'm asking you to turn in, the application problems. There are several. Usually it's like chapter 1, chapter 2, section 1, section 2, section 3. Then we get to something called the mastery problem, right? And the mastery problem is really, really, really similar to the test that I'm going to send out to you individually. So as you're looking at doing this, if you have a good handle on the study guide and you have a good handle on the mastery problem, you have a very good chance at doing well on the 50-point test. But again, make sure you're using your resources the way they were intended. The second bit of homework is going to be these green puzzle pieces here. And these are multiple choice, true, false questions. I have a question bank of how many ever, and it's going to randomly select 20 of them. And each of them are worth 1/4 of 1 point. So 1/4 of a point times 20 gets you 5 points worth of homework. Right? So this is the other 5-point homework assignment that you should have on just about every chapter out there. Okay. The only other thing I could think of as far as production type stuff or participation type stuff is going to be discussion questions. Right? These will pop up for you mostly on Tuesdays and Thursdays. If there's a day where I'm not lecturing on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, there's a good chance I'll have a discussion question as well. But primarily going to be Tuesday, Thursday type assignments. Okay. We will cover the first 8 chapters in Accounting 1. Again, teach it, do homework as a group, review it, look at a study guide, do the puzzle piece homework. Homeworks are going to be due by the end of the day, midnight on Monday. Take a test that needs to be completed and resubmitted by the end of the day on Tuesday. Start the next chapter on a Wednesday. That should be the pattern that we have for most of the trimester. Hopefully we're back live in person at some point in time. And when and if that happens, we will then move on to QuickBooks. All right. So back here to Mr. Clem. Let's talk about our Tuesday homework assignment. All of you, whether it be in the workbook or in the textbook, should have got a newspaper. And this is an old school way back when I was your age. And unfortunately, I am old enough to say back in the day, when I was your age, this is how I went and found a job. I'd go to the Sunday newspaper and I would pull out the want ads. And the want ads would give the listing of all these different kind of jobs and the qualifications of the jobs and all of that kind of stuff. Well, now you can go to a career builder or a LinkedIn or a lot of these online job searching places. But we're going to old school paper pencil it again. So your first assignment is to go through, and as you look at this, I need you to answer the following. So I'm going to put the share screen back on. Give it a second to go. All right. I am going to, when this video finishes rendering and I can send the video to you, I'm also going to share this Google Sheets document here, Google spreadsheet. I'm going to need you to go to File, make a copy of this document because you're going to be given viewer rights, not editor rights. And when you make a copy of this document, I'm going to ask you to read the want ads, and I need you to go find 10 different career titles that deal with accounting. All of the jobs on the newspaper activity that I have here are all going to be based on jobs that either are directly related to accounting or the skill set that you have are related to accounting. Then I'm going to ask you to go find 8 random, not random, I guess it's going to match up from the newspaper activity, but it doesn't have to be, job title here, payroll accountant, and then go find one skill, right? Give me 8 completely separate job titles from your newspaper activity research. Any one of them, go find me 8 skills and abilities, things you need to be able to do this job called accounting. Then go look through all these different possible options and get me a list of 8 potential requirements, prerequisites, or experience levels. And then same thing here, I'm looking for compensation, paid benefits, things of that nature. That is going to be the first start of our activity. I will have a separate video called the Tom Murray quote, and taking a look at some stuff when we meet on Wednesday live. So as I come back here, I'll go ahead and end the recording here in just a minute. If you are unable to get to the school before Tuesday, if you go back to Schoology, sorry, I got to share my screen again. If you go back to Schoology, under the newspaper activity, here are PDFs of the front and the back side of that newspaper, right? So it's in theory possible that you don't actually get to school, but you can still do the newspaper activity here, because here are the PDFs if you need them. Again, you should get an email from me fairly soon. You'll get a reminder email Tuesday morning that, hey, here's what we're doing. Go through the newspaper activity, make a copy of that spreadsheet, go ahead and fill in your answers, then either reshare that or turn around and do a file, download, and make it into a Microsoft Excel document, and then upload that Microsoft Excel document to Schoology so I can grade it. And we will start live with Chapter 1 in Accounting 1 on Wednesday. I wish you a good weekend, and I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Have a good rest of your morning.